Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure unboxing and review we're going to be looking at the Legacy Generation Select DK2 guard figure. So what we're going to do in this video, we're going to unbox him live in a second, have a look at the entire contents of the packaging. We're then going to have a detailed look at him in both of his modes to help you decide how you want to display him. We're then going to see how he looks and compares to some of the other figures that have shared the same mould. And then for a bit of fun as well, we'll see how he displays with some other figures which are basically along the same toy line and idea as him, because he's based on a Diaclone figure, which we are at the moment, and I'm loving it by the way, getting lots of versions and updates of Diaclone figures. So we'll put a load of these together and see how he looks. In the meantime, as I'm putting all these down, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to this channel, if you'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now, please, because it really will help me out. A couple of things before we open the box. Let's have a quick look at I love these. I don't know if they're like blueprints, tech specs, or, specs of the figures from the outside. Love the way it wraps around the corner. So much better than the old Generation Selects boxes. There's the lovely Legacy logo there. And of course, we can see there it says DK2 Guard. Other thing we need to do again quickly before we open it is I need to thank Robot Recruits, and that's the online toy company in the UK that I ordered this from. And as you can see, they got him to me nice and safely. So let's have a look inside. So I'm believing that this is obviously just, there we go, yeah, a dark repaint, of course, of the original Ironhide mould. Again, you can see that they've lived up to the word. There is no plastic in here at all. We've got the roof, we've got the little gun, we've got the instructions, and I think that's about it. So what I need to do now then is set him free from there and do some first impressions with you. Okay, I've set him free from the packaging. We've got the accessories here. But before we do some first impressions, I want to just give you a bit of brief history on this particular character and figure. So, of course, it's based on an original Diaclone variant of this guy here, which we lovingly now know as Ironhide. Now, this catalogue doesn't come with this at all. This is one of my old Diaclone catalogues here. And the brilliant thing about this is if we open it up, we can, of course, see the Diaclone toy range. But if we look especially here along the top, number one, obviously, is the red Sunstreaker, which I just teased we're going to be doing a display with later on. But number two is indeed the black repaint of Ironhide. And what's even better is this is DK number 2 Guard. So whether that's intentional or not, it is a brilliant homage to that. And as you can see, there's lots of these popping up already. So we've got the black skids, which is of course Burnout, the female character. We've got Reboost, I think is the red skids. We've already got the blue streak. We've got Spin Out and Cordon, you can see there, number 1 and number 3. So I'm expecting, funnily enough, on this one there isn't the yellow trail breaker. I've got that on another one, so I'm expecting that soon as well. So just a nice, I suppose, little bit of history on him there before we look at him. So here we go. The figure, this paint scheme works so much better, I think, than this one. We'll do much more of a detailed comparison later on, but the silver trim around the windscreen, the blue eyes on the head sculpt look amazing. That's just perfectly translucent, no tint, no nothing like that. Head is on like a mushroom or a ball and socket, is it? Oh, that's lifted up. Let's click it back in. It does it lift up and down? Not really, actually. It just rotates all the way around. Arms and shoulders all the way around. Swivel just below the shoulders. Bicep flexion. Wrist swivel. Waist swivel. Hips to the side, to the front, full range of motion, knee bend, ankle tilt and rock. Basically everything you would expect with a new figure. Loving the gold trim down there, which is obviously going to be the stripe. It's pretty good for covered up. There's just the hollow arms at the back of the forearms. The legs are covered up, all the gaps. And again, it's just a great figure. I think it looks much more aesthetically pleasing than the red, to be honest. It really suits it. There's the black roof, so unfortunately he is going to be a bit of a parts former, but I'm going to use this as a shield. And indeed, there is his accessory. So first impressions, I think he looks cool. Great use of the mould and indeed the new colour they're using with him. So let's have a look at him now in his alternate mode. Okay, then we're back, and as you can see, he's in his alternate mode already. So quick apologies for no transformation process on this video. That is for a couple of reasons. One is to keep the main length of the video down, and two's not to spoil it for anybody who doesn't want to see it. For instance, if you're intending on purchasing this figure and you want to experience that first transformation process for yourself, then again, I've not ruined it for you, but if you do want to see it, it's going to be uploaded separately. Okay, now the alternate mode is, I suppose, a tale of two halves, literally. It's really good in the fact that, you know, the wheels all go around completely unrestricted. It looks brilliant from the front, nice detail in here on the bumper. Oh, reflective seating on the headlights, as I said, translucent windows with not too much going in around the sides. And again, the stripe looks good, the Autobot logo on it looks good. It literally, as I say, tale of two halves. This half looks fantastic. It's as soon as you spin it round, and I don't even know what to say about this. It's really quite hard to explain, and not, I suppose, say that they are clearly his feet on the back. If you're not sure, there of course is Ironhide, and of course you'll see this in a bit more detail in a second. It's just his feet, and the roof of course is like a parts form. It just fits on top. I don't really know what to say. It just could have been so much better. It is good. I mean, and they've used this mold a few times, as I say. Now they used it for I think they used it for Ratchet as well, the shattered glass one, which again we can have a look at in a second. Yeah, I mean, obviously, thankfully now we've had a much better updated version of Ironhide in Studio Series 86. But I think, myself included, I think the reason most of us are still going to be purchasing this, and the reason why I got this, is because I can display him in robot mode. It's just such a shame whether or not we can say that it's a Cybertronian version of this particular van or not. I don't really know, but there's not really much more to say on this. You can see you can attach the weapon there. There's no other 5mm ports, unfortunately, I think, apart from on the back of his feet, where you can store or attach more weapons. There's some space underneath, but I don't think there's much more to say about the alternate mode, to be honest. Let's come back for the final time to do some comparisons and some display ideas. Okay then, back for the final time with him in his robot mode. So let's see what we can do with his accessories. And this is one of the cool things about this. And again, this is exactly why I'm going to be displaying him in robot mode. So we've got what is, of course, the roof. We can fold these in or up a little bit if you want. And then you can attach this gun to it. That's a bit of a homage then to the Generation 1 figure, which I suppose can be a little bit of a base. And you can do exactly the same with that, to be honest. What we can also do, and I think this is the best bit, this little lever that we moved, if you slide this forward, it's like a huge rocket launcher now. So you can have this actually as a tab there in his hands. You can have the arm, all of the windows out if you wanted to. I think it just gives it that look, bit of a better look. You can have him holding that like so. And of course we can then attach, there's a load of glare coming off that windscreen, the gun in the top as well. So that, I think, looks really good. You can hardly tell there with how I've got it displayed. You can, of course, fold. Let's take these off. You can fold all these in as well, to be honest. And you could turn it maybe the other way. So you can have the gun out at the bottom of this, like we just saw. Fold that into there, and then there you've got the tab. So if we bring it forward this time, like so, it can still go in his hand, or it can go in his arm and his shoulder, and you've got a blaster like that. And because he's quite a big figure, he says, can I get him to balance? Maybe not. Maybe not on carpet. Oh, there we go, you can. So he's got a huge, again, cannon there, which works really well. If you don't want to do any of that, if you just want to sort of store the backpack out of the way, you can take this off, and on the back we've got the connector there, so you can literally just store that there on the back, out of the way. Same with the gun if you wanted to. I wonder if you could turn it this way. Yeah, you could turn it this way. It doesn't look as good, but you could do. But what I tend to do, and I've used it with Ironhide, I'm going to put it on the top part there and use it as a shield. And then this gun obviously will just fit in his hands or on his shoulders as normal. But as you can see, look at these abundance of 5mm holes all down his body. So you can do loads of things with these. I imagine you can have some right fun building up some things with these, especially with the fossilizers and the weaponizers, etc. And yeah, again, just exactly that, a bit of fun. That's what makes these toys what they are, the fact that you can have a good, just play with them. Funnily enough, it looks like I've done exactly the same with all of these. So let's have a look at these. So these are Earthrise figures, obviously, and this is Legacy. all sporting pretty much exactly the same mold, apart from slightly obviously different heads there and color schemes. I'm trying to see if there's anything different in these. I don't think there is, don't quote me on that, there may be, but obviously there's a bit of a difference with the head on that one. With regards to the other figures, as I say, which we pretty much saw in the Diaclone catalogue, we've got, I'm just getting this guy out, we've got Spin Out, and we've got Corden, like so. We've of course got Lift Ticket. They're all looking red, aren't they? Let's use that to our advantage for now. We've got DK3 Breaker, I think he is, and then I thought he was going to fall. And then we've got one of my personal favorites. We've actually got Blue Streak as well, and of course there's quite a few more. This is just a mini selection for this particular video. And funny enough, if you want to see these in more detail, there's videos of these on this channel. Anyway, let me know what you think of him. Do you think, is he a good repaint, or is he just another useless repaint that you're not interested in? I do generally think, and I've said these in other videos, that things like these perhaps are aimed at the older collector, purely because we've got some maybe nostalgia or a little bit of, you know, a connection to them. So I totally get it if it's not your thing, and I totally get it if you just think that Hasbro are milking people for repaints. But it's clearly, as you've seen in that catalogue, which of course was pre-Transformers, it is something that's always been done, and it's something that they're going to be continuing with, I think, far into the future. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, guys. Take care.